Let me ask you something. When you picture yourself retired and you picture yourself alone, what feeling comes up? Retiring solo doesn't mean retiring lonely. And I don't just believe that, I've actually researched it deeply. And the data is genuinely surprising. I'm Kim. This is Future Retired Lady, the channel for women in their 50s and beyond who are planning retirement on their own terms. And today, we are going straight into the topic I get asked about more than almost anything else. Let's go. Here's something that might surprise you. Nearly half of all women over 65 in the United States are single. Half. That's not a small minority. And yet, almost every retirement commercial, every financial planning brochure, every imagine your future ad, it's a couple walking on a beach, holding hands. It's not us. So we are planning for something that millions and millions of women are doing, and the world is still acting like we're the exception. What is a real problem, separate from being solo, is loneliness. And I want to be very clear about something right up front. Being alone and being lonely are not the same thing. You can be in a marriage and be profoundly lonely. You can live alone and feel completely connected, supported, and loved. The difference is not in your relationship status. The difference is intentionality. Whether you've built a life with real human connection woven into it. And that is something we can actually plan for, just like we plan for our money. A few years ago, when I was completing my bachelor's degree, I did a research project specifically on solo aging and social isolation in women. And I'll be honest, I started that project thinking I already knew the answers. I expected the data to confirm my fears. What I found was more complicated and more hopeful. The research showed something I think about all the time. Older adults who deliberately build and maintain a social network, who treat friendship and community the way we are told to treat our 401ks, meaning invest early and consistently, those people do not experience the isolation we are so afraid of. The loneliness that hits people in retirement, it mostly hits the people who waited, those who assumed that connection would just happen the way it did at work, or when their kids were young, or when their life was really busy. It just doesn't happen that way anymore. You have to build it. And that is actually good news, because it means this is something you can do something about, starting today. Now let me give you some real numbers, because this isn't just my personal opinion. In 2023, the United States Surgeon General declared loneliness an epidemic, an actual public health crisis. Research from the National Academies of Sciences found that chronic loneliness increases your risk of premature death as much as smoking 15 cigarettes a day, or as much as obesity. This is not soft stuff. This is a physical health issue. And here's what matters for us specifically. The people most at risk aren't those who live alone. They're people who don't have enough quality relationships, regardless of their living situation. That same research found something hopeful. Older adults who invested in friendships, not just family, but actual chosen friendships, reported higher life satisfaction than people who relied mainly on their family ties. Think about that for a second. Your friends, the people you choose, may matter more than your family when it comes to how good your life feels in retirement. So, let's talk about how to build that. I want to give you a framework I call building your village. And yes, I'm borrowing that phrase intentionally because there is a real movement called the village movement that I'll mention in a minute. Your village has 3 layers. Think of it like concentric circles. The inner circle is your 3 to 5 people. These are your people. Not your whole social network, just the ones who would show up, the ones you call when something goes wrong, the ones who know your medical history, know your wishes, know where you keep your important documents. Here's the hard truth. Most of us don't have this clearly defined. We have a vague sense of who our people are, but we haven't had the explicit conversations. Your homework, and I mean this, is to sit down and name these people, and then have the conversations. Ask them directly. If something happened to me, would you be willing to help? It's uncomfortable, but do it anyway. For solo women especially, this inner circle also includes legal preparation, a medical power of attorney, a financial power of attorney, a healthcare directive. These documents mean your wishes will be honored even if you can't speak for yourself. That's not morbid, that's love. Love for yourself and for the people who care about you. The second layer is your community, the broader web of people who give your days texture and meaning. This is where I want to talk about something really exciting that's happening right now. The village movement, and this is a real thing with over 350 villages across the United States. It's a membership-based community where neighbors support each other to age in place. These aren't retirement homes or assisted living facilities, they're networks, volunteer-run organizations where members help each other with rides, errands, home repairs, technology, and most importantly, social connection, events, classes, outings, discussion groups. You stay in your home, you might even stay in your own neighborhood, but you're not alone. Then there's co-housing, where groups of people, often women specifically, intentionally buy or build housing together. Private homes or apartments, but with shared common spaces. Shared meals a few times a week, a built-in community by design. The Golden Girls model, as people call it, is not a joke. It's a genuine housing and community strategy that thousands of women are choosing right now. And finally, there's what researchers called NORCs, or naturally occurring retirement communities. These are regular neighborhoods where, over time, a critical mass of older adults end up living. They're not designed as retirement communities, they just evolved that way. You might already live in one and not know it. The third layer is what I call infrastructure, and this one surprises people. Infrastructure is the systems and habits that keep you socially connected even when life gets hard. Because here's what the research shows. Social networks shrink naturally as we age, through retirement, through loss, through mobility changes. The people who stay connected have routines that don't rely on motivation or circumstance. They have a standing weekly call or coffee with someone special, a class, club, or group that they show up for regularly, a volunteer role that puts them in contact with others, an online community that supplements their in-person world. I want to say something about online community specifically because I think it gets dismissed. Research during and after the pandemic showed that for older adults, online connection, video calls, online groups, social platforms genuinely reduced loneliness when used actively, not passively scrolling, but actively connecting with others. That means a Facebook group for women planning solo retirement, a YouTube community, a Discord. These are things that are not lesser substitutes for real connection, but they are real connection, which is part of what I'm building here, building this channel. Because this community, you are part of my village too. Okay, real talk. Here's what I want you to walk away and actually do. Not someday, but this week. Number 1, name your inner circle. Write down 3 to 5 people. Have you had the explicit conversation with them? If not, that's your first call to make. Number 2, look up whether there's a village movement chapter in your area. Go to villagetovillage.net. It's a national network. See what exists near you. If nothing does, that might be an opportunity. Number 3, audit your weekly routine. How many times this week did you have a real conversation? Not a transaction, not a quick text message, but a real transaction with another human being. If the answer is less than 3 or 4, That's your sign to add a standing appointment with connection. And I want to leave you with this reframe. We plan for money, we should plan for meaning with the same rigor. Your social portfolio is as real as your financial portfolio. It too needs deposits. It too needs maintenance. And the earlier you start building it, the more it compounds. So, retiring solo doesn't mean retiring lonely. It means retiring intentionally. It means building your village before you need it. It means having those hard conversations, showing up for community the way you'd show up for anything else that truly matters. And it means knowing that half the women over 65 in this country are doing exactly what you're doing. You are not the exception, my dear. You are not alone in being solo. If any of this resonated with you today, please subscribe. Leave a comment below telling me who is in your inner circle. Or if you don't have one yet, feel free to say that too. This is a judgment-free zone. And if you know a woman in her 50s or beyond who needs to hear this today, please share the video. That's the whole reason I'm here. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself and each other.